guys, Gotham Royalty, and today we're going to be talking about the new trailer for Solo: Star Wars Story. Kind of a bit of an analysis, a little bit of breakdown, but overall just our general thoughts on the trailer, what we liked, what we didn't like. So first up, I think maybe we should talk about the casting for Han Solo.
Yeah.
I really like it. I think it was always going to be hard because he is such an iconic character and a massive fan favourite. But I think he looks enough like Harrison Ford in the first one. And I think the main thing I was worried about was the hair, because in one of the photos they released of the crew, it just looked too modern. It didn't look a lot like that, but I think they've done an alright job doing the hair. What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I think they've done about as good a job as they could have done.
Yeah.
Because obviously, as you said, very iconic character.
Yeah. And casting, yeah.
Yeah, they've done as good of a job as they could have done. To me, it's just odd to see an obviously different person play the same character, but there's really not much they could have done there. So they've done quite well with the casting.
Well, we've also got Donald Glover playing Lando, which I thought also looked really good. But it's a character we saw, which is meant to be 10 years on, I assume, and looks noticeably different. But I'm kind of a fan of the casting. As you said, it's a little bit weird, but equally the stuff with the prequels that is a bit weird that.
There's just not much they can really do.
Yeah.
They can't get the actors to go back in time and
exactly
play the characters again. So.
But overall, what did you think of the trailer? What the visually, the story it seems to be showing?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this isn't one of my favourite trailers of all time ever. I know it's only a first trailer, but I kind of hoped we'd see a bit more of the story and where it was going.
Yeah.
I guess we've got the general gist. He was kicked out of the flight school.
Yeah, I assume that's the Imperial Flight Academy, which we had a bit of a discussion about. You don't like that he was in the...
Yeah, I just feel like the character probably would have mentioned that at some point, even if it was in confidence to Luke or Leia or something. I just feel like that would have come up.
Yeah, but why would we necessarily know that? Is it not plausible that he told them that off screen? And it wouldn't be something that...
Obviously, but it's one of those cases where it's very clear they've gone in and done a sort of prequel thing, because that clearly was never on the table.
In the previous expanded universe that obviously isn't canon anymore, he was in the Imperial Academy for a while, so that's actually something they've taken from the expanded universe and slotted in here.
But I just kind of feel like they didn't really plan to do that with the movies and they've just I feel like that would have been brought up.
I don't think George Lucas ever intended that to be part of his character.
Yeah.
And he never showed much interest in the expanded universe, and obviously now Disney are making these films, they can do what they want with the lore. But yeah, I think it looks perfectly good. Obviously, I think out of the 4 Disney films, this is probably going to be the lowest one out of all of them. I think the 3 that are out at the moment are very close, though. I wouldn't know how I'd rank them. But out of all of them, I think this is probably the one I've been kind of anticipating the least. But I think nonetheless, it's Star Wars, and I'm going to enjoy it. And I was quite worried about this film, but I actually think it looks pretty good. I think, like many people have said, it looks good, but it still seems a bit pointless.
Yeah, I just I think that it was something that I said to you. I just that they've had to get different actors to play these characters now, and something that I was sort of just getting at there with I didn't like that he was in the Flight Academy.
Yeah.
And it's so clear. Well, not it's quite clearly that they've gone in and made a prequel, and because normally in films you find this out along the way, but it's never been mentioned in any of the films, and then all of a sudden it's a thing. So it just kind of makes you think, why are they doing it?
Yeah.
Like, they could have done something else,
I
but,
think,
you know.
I think we are going to see some stuff that got referenced in the original trilogy, Joe. People have been talking about the Kessel Run might be seen, and I've heard rumours that the scene we see with him flying through those weird tentacles and away from the Imperials might be the Kessel Run.
Yeah.
And also there's a line in A New Hope. I actually watched the original trilogy quite recently. I was kind of paying quite a bit of attention to Han Solo, because obviously we got the new film coming out. But there was a line where Han Solo says that he's outrun Imperial freighters and not just the regular ones, the Corellian kind. And we know we're going to see Corellia at some point in the film. So I believe that sequence where he's flying away from the Imperial Star Destroyer and the TIE fighters might be referencing him flying away from those. But yeah, I kind of agree. I guess, yeah, it is a little bit odd that he's got this massive story but it's never been mentioned. But you know,
I think you just come to expect it from these sorts of films. Loads of people, companies do this, where they go back to this
especially
happened.
A franchise where they had 3 films initially made, and then 3 prequels with significant stories,
exactly.
and you could argue the same thing there. But yeah, I like the look of it. I think it's gonna be good. We didn't really Emilia Clarke's character. We learned nothing about her.
Yeah, see, this is why I was kind of a bit like, not massively like, oh wow, what a great trailer. I feel like we still don't know very much about it, and I'm still kind of like, what's happening though?
At the same time, I don't mind that. All the Star Wars trailers have been a bit like that, showing us cool visuals, showing us character moments, but not giving away any of the story. As far as we know, there's going to be a heist involving like Woody Harrelson's character, Emilia Clarke, Han Lando, some weird little monkey-looking thing. I couldn't really. And there was a woman, another woman,
sure.
And yeah, Chewbacca. What do you think of him? It's just.
I'm never a fan of what he looks like, because it's something I say to you all the time. I always just think in my head it's quite clearly someone in a costume. So I'm never really a fan of what he looks like.
Something I actually found slightly weird. Continuity-wise, the first time we've seen Chewie. Oh well, actually, it was first in the Clone Wars, but then in Episode 3, and in Episode 3 and Clone Wars, he has his regular outfit with that weird chain thing round him. But suddenly, this is, I don't know how many years after Episode 3, and he's got a slightly different thing, but then it gets to Episode 4 and he's got the same one again. And I guess it makes sense, it's fine because he could just change what he wears, but it just seems a little bit strange. It seems like kind of doing it for the sake of merchandise almost. Because it just, it's just weird.
Different. It's different to the other
ones. It's just weird that he was wearing that during Episode 3 and then suddenly not. But yeah, it's fine.
I thought the dialogue, a lot of the dialogue we heard was a bit like.
Yeah, see, you did say this. I didn't mind it as much because I felt Star Wars. A lot of the dialogue is very cringy. That's just how Star Wars is.
Cheesy, like. Yeah, like, I want to be a pilot, the best pilot in the whole galaxy, and I was just like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a bit like, not difficult to hear, but it's just a bit cheesy. That's all. But as you said, it's cheesy in all of them. There's always cheesy dialogue.
There's lots of like weird dialogue, and it's just kind of how that world seems to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I liked everything. Yeah, we said we were saying we hope we get to see some sort of reference to the prequels, like maybe a proper flashback to the prequels. I know this is a stretch, but he does mention when he was 10, which would have been during the Clone Wars, or at least around the time of Episode 2.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see something.
That would be cool.
Because I mean, we both really want to see that. We actually got read out our question on the Steel Wars podcast, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so I think hopefully we do get to see something, because as you know, I love anything in the new films that references the prequels. They
haven't referenced them as much as I thought they would.
Yeah, I mean, in Episode 7 we heard brief mentions of the fact that clone technology still exists. Maz Kanata mentions the Sith, which is a term that was only ever used in the prequels. I think Rogue One we got our most significant ones, like the guy that played Bail Organa in the prequels came back. Same for Mon Mothma, who played her in a deleted scene. But yeah, they mentioned the Clone Wars. I think one of my favourite ones was actually, spoilers for Episode 8 if you haven't seen it, but you should have by now, when Luke mentions that when the Jedi were at the height of their power, Darth Sidious destroyed the Jedi, created the Empire, and created Darth Vader. Which what I really like, which is basically the plot of Episode 3.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, yeah, we both, I guess, kind of, you liked it, like, as
I
much
liked
as...
it, I just kind of wanted more. I don't know what I wanted, because I even feel like with the other trailers for, like, other Star Wars films, you still get more, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You still, even though they mislead you, they still give you an idea of what the film might be about.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But I have no idea really, other than he was in the flight academy and now he's going to be a pilot, and then he joins a team made by Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I guess that's the plot, I guess. But I don't know. I'd have liked to have seen a bit more, but I don't know what I was expecting either. So, I mean...
Actually,
yeah.
finally, something we should quickly mention before we finally sign off. The title in the trailer.
Oh no! Oh yeah! How did we nearly forget that?
It was so bad.
It was that. Yeah, that was awful. I can't defend that.
I was enjoying the whole trailer, and then suddenly the title comes up, and for some reason they've done it different to the other films where it fades in. They did some weird 3D twisty thing, and it looks like something from a child's TV show.
I honestly feel like I've seen something very similar, and since we've watched it, I've been really, like, it's from some, like, old movie, and I'm really trying to think of it, but I wonder if it'll come to me. But it looked like something from the early 2000s. It was
really
maybe
strange.
Even before.
But yeah, anyway, leaving it on that note, we both liked the trailer. You wish you'd seen more. Found the dialogue a bit cringy. I'm looking forward to Star Wars regardless.
Was, you know.
Yeah, it looked fun. So we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys. Bye.